Your back is probably not weak. Your body just forgot how to hinge. And that matters, because every day, life asks you to bend. You bend to pick up the groceries. You bend to load the dishwasher. You bend to pick up a suitcase, to help others. And if you don't know how to bend, your lower back often becomes the place that takes the blame. Because your back isn't supposed to take everything on by itself. Your hips are supposed to help. Your core is supposed to help. Your glutes are supposed to help. Your legs, your whole body is supposed to work together. That is what the hip hinge teaches you. It's one of the most important movement patterns for staying strong, capable, and useful. A capable adult needs to know how to pick things up. Lower back pain is one of the most common problems in the world. It's one of the biggest reasons people miss work, stop exercising, stop moving, stop lifting, and start shrinking their lives. And one of the hardest parts about back pain is it can make people afraid of their own bodies. They become afraid to bend, to lift, to carry, afraid to train and to trust themselves. And that fear becomes its own problem, because when you stop moving, you're usually not becoming safer. You're becoming weaker, stiffer, less confident, less coordinated, less capable. So this video is not about pretending that all back pain has one cause. It does not. Back pain can be complicated. Sometimes you need a doctor. Sometimes you need a physical therapist. Sometimes you simply need to be evaluated. But for a lot of adults, there's a basic skill worth rebuilding. The ability to hinge at the hips, to bend with control, to load the hips, to brace the trunk, to pick things up without making the lower back feel like it's doing the whole job itself. That's what we're going to talk about today. So what is a hip hinge? It's simple, really. It's the movement of sending your hips back while your torso tips forward. Your spine stays long, your hips stay controlled, your knees soften, but they don't turn the movement into a squat. The movement comes mainly from your hips. Think of closing a car door with your butt. The hips move back, the torso comes forward, the hamstrings load, the glutes load, and the trunk stays active. Then you drive the hips forward and stand tall. That's the hinge. You use it in deadlifts. You use it in kettlebell swings. But more importantly, you use it in life. Picking up a laundry basket, bending over to get something on a lower shelf, lifting a bag of soil, picking up a kid. The hinge is how your body shares the job. Instead of asking your lower back to carry the bulk of the load, you're asking your trunk and your hips to contribute. That's capability. The big mistake people make. It's not simply bending your spine. Your spine is supposed to move. Your back is not made of glass. You don't need to walk around like a robot with a perfectly straight spine all day. That's not the message. The problem is when you repeatedly lift with no awareness, no brace, no hip involvement, no leg contribution, and no control. That's when people get into trouble. They round, they reach, they twist. They treat every lift like it's an accident, and then they wonder why their back feels so vulnerable. The answer is not to fear the spine. The answer is to rebuild the skill. Because movement quality matters when the load matters. You gotta do it with intention. If you're lifting a heavy suitcase, or a bag of soil, or a heavy weight, your mechanics matter. The hinge gives you a strategy. The hip hinge is powerful because it teaches you three things. First, it teaches you to use your hips. Your hips are designed to produce force. Your hamstrings and your glutes are strong muscles. They're not supposed to be taking a nap while your lower back does all the work. Second, the hinge teaches you how to brace. Bracing does not mean sucking in your stomach. It means creating enough tension around your trunk to support your spine as you move. Think of turning your torso into a strong cylinder. You can still breathe, you can still move, but you're not floppy. You're sturdy. Third, the hinge teaches you to keep the weight close. The farther the load gets from your body, the harder your lower back has to work. That's why if you carry a box with your arms outstretched, it's going to be a lot worse. The hinge teaches you to move your body around the object. Keep it close, and more importantly, use your whole system. Your back, your core, your hips, your legs, your hands. That's how humans are supposed to lift, not perfectly, intelligently. So how do you learn to hinge? Soften your knees. Now push your hips back until your butt hits the wall. Don't squat. Do not collapse the chest. Don't round aggressively through your back. Hips back, torso forward, hamstrings load, stand tall. Do 10 slow reps. If that feels easy, step a few inches farther from the wall and do it again. The wall gives you feedback. It teaches your body what hips back feels like. Now, use a dowel or a broomstick or PVC pipe. Place it along your back. You want 3 points of contact. Back of the head, upper back, tailbone. Now hinge. The stick isn't here because your back is fragile. It's here to give you feedback. If the stick loses contact with one of those 3 points, it usually means the position of your spine has changed. Perhaps your back has rounded, or your chest has collapsed. Maybe your head has leaned back, or your pelvis is tilted. This isn't necessarily bad. Your spine is supposed to move, but when you're learning to hip hinge, the goal is to discover the difference between moving from your hips and moving through your back. The stick helps you feel that difference. When you can hip hinge and feel in control, and you have that mind-body connection, then add some weight. Not heavy, just a light dumbbell, a kettlebell, a backpack, or a grocery bag. Hold it close, hinge down, move slowly, stand up, own the movement. Here are 5 simple steps of progression. Step 1, the wall hinge. 3 sets of 10, slow and controlled. Step 2, the dowel or broomstick hip hinge. 3 sets of 8 to 10. Use the stick as feedback. Step 3, the loaded hip hinge. Hold your object, light kettlebell or dumbbell, close to your chest or between your legs. 3 sets of 8. Step 4, Romanian deadlift. Hold 2 dumbbells or 1 kettlebell, slide the weight down the front of your legs. Stop when you feel your hamstrings load, that pull, or when your position changes. Stand tall. Step 5, real world lifting practice. So pick up that laundry basket, pick up a backpack, or your kid. Practice the skill with objects that show up in your real life. Because the goal is not just exercise. The goal is remaining and becoming more capable. Here are 6 common mistakes to avoid. Mistake number 1, turning the hinge into a squat. Squat is knees forward, hips down. A hinge is hips back, torso forward. Both are useful, but they're not the same. Mistake number 2, holding the weight away from your body. Keep the load close. The farther weight is from you, the more leverage it has against you. Mistake number 3, relaxing at the bottom. Do not just hang out in your joints. Keep some tension. Own that position. Step 4, going too low, too soon. You do not need to touch the floor. Your range is your range. It's going to get greater the more you do this. Stop when you can still control your spine, your hips, and your breath. And speaking of your breath, mistake number 5, don't hold your breath like you're underwater. Bracing matters, but you still need to breathe. Create pressure, stay calm, and move with control. Mistake 6, adding load before learning the pattern. Do not earn pain through impatience. Earn strength through patience. So what is back pain? First off, this video is not a diagnosis for back pain. It is not medical treatment, and it's not a promise that one movement is going to fix everything. As we all know, back pain comes from many different factors: injury, stress, sleep, lifestyle, medical conditions. Pain is real, but pain does not always mean your body's broken. For many people, the path forward is not to avoid movement. It is to learn to move again with confidence, patience, and control. And exercise has strong support for managing chronic lower back pain. Not because one exercise is magic, but because your body needs movement, strength, coordination, and confidence. The hinge is one piece of that, one powerful piece. But remember, just one piece. If your pain is severe, worsening, shooting down both legs, causing numbness or weakness, affecting bowel or bladder control, coming with fever, unexpected weight loss, or following a trauma, seek medical help. The hip hinge is not just about avoiding back pain. It's about remaining useful. A person who can't lift or bend starts avoiding life. Here's your simple plan to start tomorrow. 2 to 3 times a week, practice hinging for 5 minutes. Start with wall hinges, 10 slow reps. Then use a broomstick or dowel, 10 slow reps. Then hold an object close to your body, 8 slow reps. Do not rush, do not force depth, and don't chase soreness. Chase skill. You should feel your hips move back. You should feel your hamstrings load. You should feel your trunk stay active. You should feel your whole body sharing in the job. Then, take this skill into real life. When you pick something up, pause. Get close. Hinge. Brace. Keep the load close. Stand up with control. That's how strength becomes useful. That's how your training becomes life. Your back is probably not weak. Your body may have forgotten how to hinge, but if that's the case, the answer isn't fear. The answer is practice. Relearn the pattern. Use your hips. Brace your trunk. Keep the load close. Move with control. Start light. Progress slowly. Build confidence. Because capable human beings know how to bend over and pick things up. Train the hinge. Protect your back. And stay capable. Muscle equals freedom. Strength equals capability. And capability protects your independence. And as independent human beings, we thrive.